Good afternoon, everyone. It is February 15th. This is Nate G, and we're going to do a quick trade plan on AMD. AMD is currently in a great trend pattern upwards. I believe we're right near all-time highs or at all-time highs. We are. And we're going to look at it on this 195-minute chart. This is a beautiful looking TPS pattern, right? We have our trend, we have our woodpecker type pattern, right? And we are in a squeeze. So we're going to set up a trade plan here. And the reason we're setting up a trade plan and not just taking a trade is because we are just now at our resistance levels for this pattern, and we have to wait for this to set up again. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and right at 164.21 I'm going to put a value area low. See that line right there? I'm going to make it yellow because that's the way I do my value area lows. Okay, now you can see how on the chart here it lines up with nearly the bottom of this volume profile node, right? But I can verify that that's actually where I think the that level is, even though it's because it's not quite perfect, because I come over here to the chart and I look at how many times has support been found here, and we've got one. Remember, this is a 195-minute chart. 2, 3, we pierced through but came back. 4, right? So that verifies to me that is a good value area low. And even if we come out to like a 15-minute chart and we do this, we can see that level has really acted as a good support level. Even here with this little double bottom almost. Okay? So back to our 195-minute chart. That's our value area low at 164.21. Okay. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find a value area high. There's kind of two value areas within this chart, but within this 195-minute pattern, I'm going to put another line at 180.13 area. Okay, and I'm guessing I'm probably going to have to move this up, but I'm going to come in here and put a point of control level at 168 even, or 168.18, I guess. I'm going to make that one red, and then I'm going to put a secondary one right here at 176.33. Okay, so within this TPS pattern and this 195-minute chart, I have now put in a value area low, a value area high. And then 2 point of control levels within this pattern. And then I'm going to mark our all-time high. That's going to be target number 1. Okay, I'm going to mark that with a green line at 184.95. And then I'm going to do my fib retracement from the high to this spike low here. And then I'm going to put another green line at the 1272 extension for a possible target number 2. All right. So we can label these lines, right? This is going to be value area low. Okay. This is going, I don't know why it chose green, but it did. Let's keep it all yellow. This is a value area high. Okay. I'm going to change this one. Sorry, I'm doing this one kind of slow, but this just helps everybody understand what it is I'm up to. Okay. This is going to be POC2. I'm going to make it red. POC2. This is red POC1. Okay. And that green one is going to be target 1. And this green one is going to be target 2. Now these lines are on my chart, right? So whenever I look at this, I automatically know, over here on the right-hand side is where they're visible. See? So now, whenever I come to AMD, whether I'm on the 195 chart or I'm on a 1-minute chart, my lines are always there and they're always labeled. See? POC2, value area high, I'm on a 1 minute. Now I understand what's going on my chart, okay? So my 15-minute chart here, I want to look at in a little bit more detail, right? Now maybe I'll come out to a 30-minute chart. Okay, now I can see the whole pattern, right? And I can see on a 30-minute chart, my POC1 is at a great level. My POC2 probably needs to move up just a hair, right? You can see that? Okay, so as we drill down, we can kind of fine tune where those lines are. Now they look pretty good. Okay, so any trade for me, this trade, if I took this trade, my stop would be below value area low. So here, let's do this. Value area low / STOP, stop, okay? Now, do I want to take a trade up here? Do I want to take a trade up here? Not really. Not for this 195-minute TPS pattern. Okay? Because if I do, my risk is down to here, right? Which is 176 roughly to 164. That's more than a $10, right? That's a $12 loss. For target number 1, 176 to 164, which is an $8 win, right? That's pretty bad risk reward. Even if I take it up to here, 191, 176, right? That's a $14. That's definitely not a 2 to 1, 14 to 12, risking 12 to make 14, right? So right here, with this 195-minute squeeze on AMD, this is not, in my opinion, a good entry spot. We've come up to resistance, this value area high. We've rejected. We're consolidating around point of control 2, right? We could move up from here, and we've missed this trade, and that's okay, right? So what I would like to do is set up a trade plan where I take a trade off of point of control number 1 or my value area low. If it doesn't get here, it doesn't get here, right? That's totally fine. I've missed the trade, but I also didn't lose any money, right? Because I want to have a piece of this chart right here. Semis are doing well. I think this chart is gorgeous, right? But I want a lower entry. So what I'm going to do is go back to a 30-minute because I can see more detail, right? But I've already got my lines in there. And here at point of control 1, I am going to add an alert, okay? When it crosses that line or touches that line, it'll send me an alert so that I know I would like to buy it here, okay? So when I do, if it does come down into that level, I'm going to set up my risk reward parameters so I understand what I'm risking. My stop level is right there. I just moved it up. And I'm going to go, my target number 1 is a test of the most recent high, right? And I'm going to take off most of my trade there and probably leave a trailer for target number 2. So let's say I would take off 75% of my trade at target number 1, or if it's really moving 50, but at least half, and leave a trailer on for target number 2, right? So I usually measure my risk reward to target number one because that's where the bulk of my trade is coming off. So if I'm going, this is my stop, and my entry is around point of control 1, and my target is target number 1, and I put my box on here, this is now a 4-to-1 risk reward. That's a great risk reward, and better once I'm up to target number 2. So if I take this trade and I hit target number 1 and I take off, 75% of it, right? Then I move my stop level to break even on the last 25, because if it gets here and rolls over, I don't want to lose any more money, right? So I would also then move my stop up. So good, 4-to-1 risk reward. I'm waiting until it comes into this level. If it doesn't come into this level, I don't get this trade, and that's okay. This is my plan. Okay, because I'm playing a 195-minute chart, the options I would look at if I were taking this trade, or when I take this trade, are going to be, at the very least, the March 1st, if not the March 8th. Okay? So I would take, so as it comes down to 168, because it's pretty high right now. If I were taking this trade now, I would buy like the 175s, but I won't be, right? So I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy at the money, which at the time would be about a 165, 167.50 from March 8th. Larry, what's up, dog? Open target and stop tool is amazing. This is just right here in TradingView. I'll show you. This thing's great. It's right. It's like, for me, it's the fourth one down, and it's just long position and short position, right? And then when you put it on, whoops, it just, here, I'll delete this one first. It just gives you a box, right? And then you move it to, you move the middle part to where you're taking the position, and then you move your targets and stop loss, and then it gives you your risk reward ratio. And then it'll also give you exactly how much you're risking dollar wise, 4 to make 16, right? And then what's even cooler is, let's see if I have one on here. When you do put a trade on and you do put that on your chart, I don't know if I have one. Oh, MRK. See how it's darker green down here? As it moves through, earlier when it was up here, this was darker green, or this turns a darker red. It tracks your trade through that, just visually, and it's pretty cool. Right? It's pretty cool. So back to AMD here. So now I have a trade plan in place. When and if it gets to my level, I'm buying March 8th calls. Right? I'm buying March 8 calls, and I'll buy at the money, which will be 172. No, what did I say? Sorry, I got sidetracked when Larry asked me a question. I've traded with Larry for years, by the way. If those of you who are new, I would be buying probably the 170s at that level. So let me erase this. See if I can do that. Yeah, perfect. So then I'm going to buy the 170 calls, March 8th. That would be my trade plan. So when this comes into here, that's my buy. My stop is below this level, right? I have a 4-to-1 risk reward, and my target is number 1. So that's target 1 with a trailer on for target 2, depending on how many options I buy within my within my risk parameters. That is the trade plan for AMD. If it never comes into this level and goes, I've missed this trade, so be it. But I'm not buying it right here. Does anybody have any questions on that? Anything I can help answer? Eddie, yeah, this is a squeeze play. This is absolutely a squeeze play. This is a 195-minute TPS squeeze play. It's probably going to turn into a daily, right? Right here. 195-minute squeeze. It probably has a dot or two on the daily as well. It does. I mean, this could be a daily squeeze play, but that's why I'm going out 3 weeks. Okay, so that's our trade plan. That video will be on YouTube, but that's how you set up a trade plan on these, and that's where the sort of the rubber meets the road, as they say, right? I'm not jumping into AMD right here, but I have a plan for when it comes into my level, and if it comes here, I'm gonna get it. If it doesn't, fine. It goes without me. I missed the trade. No big deal. Maybe there's another setup on it as it breaks out. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until one morning we get a little push down. Usually in the morning, it'll give you an entry spot, and then it's out of here. Yeah, when you wonder, how do they do that? They buy at 935 and then it's up 60%. Well, because we know what levels we want to buy off of, because of volume profile, and we're managing our risk reward, and we're ready for when those happen. So this will always be on my watch list until it either breaks up, breaks down, or I get into it, right? And so that's how you set up a trade plan. And we'll do some more of these. I'll try and do one of these every day. And I might not get my entry for 2 or 3 days, but it'll let me know when it's time. All right, so that's the trade plan on AMD.